It shows some 20 or so mile-an-hour gusts.
We knew we wanted to push our limits winter camping, and we definitely are. We are challenging ourselves and the things that we brought to the fullest capacity.
There were some spots that snow had been drifted over, and I had no idea where the road was, and we were sliding around quite a bit.
-6? Oh no.
Another crazy, windy Colorado evening. Not out of it yet completely.
There's definitely mountain lines here. That's actually crazy.
I'm not trying to get stuck out here in the middle of this town.
We're not sure that it's going to even run the diesel heater tonight.
After a few very long days of driving, we have finally made it to Colorado Springs, where we have some amazing sunny weather with a lot of snow on the ground. So we're gonna spend the day exploring around Colorado Springs before we go snow camp tonight, maybe near Divide, Colorado, at an elevation of almost 10,000 feet. We have some sun, some good weather, and a couple hours this morning where we can go explore around before hopefully finding a good spot for tonight.
Since we are in the Colorado Springs area, we figured we would check out Garden of the Gods, which is where we are right now. We've never been, and they have free admission, which is something that we didn't know and is really nice. So we're gonna go on a few trails just because it is 40 degrees today and sunny, so we are soaking up all of our time outside until the sun drops and it gets really cold. So let's enjoy the park.
We first started by just driving around this park and seeing all of the gorgeous views that you can see from the road. You have the snow-capped Rocky Mountains and the orange rocks here in the park, and the contrast is just amazing. There are lots of really cool areas that you can drive through, including the balancing rock, but we wanted to get out on a trail. That way we get to see some views that are different, as well as get some exercise and move our legs before we get back to the camper and go find our campsite. Because once we get there and the sun goes down, the temperatures are going to drop into the low teens, which means it's going to be very cold. The main reason we are in Colorado Springs is because Barkley has a vet appointment tomorrow where he'll get his yearly shots, and then they're going to draw some blood. That way they can make sure that he can go under to do a teeth cleaning in about a month. We've done this route every year for the past few years, where we end up in Colorado in the spring, and then in between his vet appointment and his teeth cleaning, we're actually gonna go up to Big Sky, Montana to ski and see Amelia's brother. So it's always fun to get out west during the snow, and being in the truck shell is definitely a new experience, but we're excited for it. It's making us a little uncomfortable, and it's usually a good thing. The unfortunate thing is that the wind is starting to pick up, and it shows some 20 or so mile-an-hour gusts through the evening and tomorrow morning. So hopefully it's not miserable whenever we get up to camp, and hopefully our diesel heater will keep us warm at altitude. We have only tested it once, and that was in Texas. So no altitude, no severe cold weather. So hopefully it doesn't kick out on us in the middle of the night. Time will tell. We'll put it to the test tonight.
The other problem we're having is our goal 0 is showing cold. So it's outputting, but it won't input anything. And we're not sure that it's gonna even run the diesel heater tonight. But we're still doing it because we're crazy. That hike was really nice and honestly a great park to come to. I think if Connor and I are in the area again, we would come here and just go for a walk and drive around because it is beautiful. We just got back in the car and I was looking at the weather and it shows that it's about 13 mile-an-hour gusts right now, but it is picking up seriously overnight and it's getting to 42 miles an hour here in Colorado Springs, but where we are going to camp is a little bit further north in the mountains, and because of that, we are assuming the wind gusts are going to be more. So we're kind of getting a plan together, seeing what we want to do. We know we have to go to the store to get some food, and maybe while we do that, we'll figure out a plan.
We got our groceries for the night, and now it is a 40-minute drive up to the entrance of a Forest Service road up near Divide, Colorado, where we're going to be trying to find a campsite for tonight. Hopefully the road isn't piled with snow and semi-inaccessible, because we do have to leave pretty early in the morning to get Barkley back down to his vet appointment. So hopefully we can find somewhere cool for the night. Well, the road down here is definitely covered in snow, and while we do have snow tires on the truck, I am going to go ahead and chain up because there's been a couple slips and slides, and we've been in that situation before, and not trying to get stuck out here in the middle of this town.
It already seems pretty windy up here, and I'm very glad we are putting on the snow chains right now, only because we were slipping quite a bit in the back, and the trees aren't that far from the road. So just to have a peace of mind knowing you have a little bit better of a grip on the snow is very important, because we don't know how far we have to drive back here to get to a site.
I've only done this once, and it was not in the snow, so I think this is right. One. Yeah. Bought the good ones. That'll work. Should be good.
Good.
Not out of it yet completely. Still, I'm gonna get the diesel heater plugged in and make sure it works at this altitude. We're almost at 10,000 feet. So it's way up there and it should be fine, but we gotta test that to find out. I'm glad to know that it at least still fits over the tire chains, because I haven't had to test that yet. Moment of truth.
Fingers crossed. Oh. While we wait for the heater to fire up and see if it's working, I'm sitting in the car because that wind outside is brutal. We knew we wanted to push our limits winter camping, and we definitely are. We are challenging ourselves and the things that we brought to the fullest capacity. And I know we're going to look back fond on these memories, but right now I cannot feel my fingers or my toes. I bet Connor feels the same way. But if the heater fires up, we know we have a safe place to warm up in and escape the elements outside. But Colorado is not messing around here.
All right, heater seems to be working. I'm gonna give it a couple more minutes until it finishes starting up before we actually trust it. And then I'm gonna see if I can adjust the altitude through the app. That way it puts the right fuel and air ratio in, because it's gotta run all night. So hopefully it can do that.
While Connor is outside now checking the heater to see if it's working, I was looking at the weather because I have one little bar working for me right now, and that is probably closest to the coldest we have ever camped, especially winter camping. So let's really hope that this diesel heater works.
All right, we got the heater working. That's a great sign, and the main reason that we'll be able to stay here tonight. Definitely glad to have 2 full tanks of diesel on that. We have a full battery, and hopefully if the diesel doesn't gel up and the heater runs, we should stay warm and cozy in our truck shell. But the winds are blowing and my toes are cold, so it's gonna be time to climb in here and warm up for a minute. Going around and getting everything that we think we'll need for the evening inside the cap. That way, A, it doesn't freeze like our waters, and then B, we don't have to get in and out a whole bunch of times, because once it gets nice and warm in there, it makes it really hard to come out here where it's freezing cold and very windy. Oh man, it feels good to be in here. It's definitely cold. 19 now, -4 later.
Everybody place your bets now. Do you think the heater's gonna work all night long and that we're gonna have an okay sleep, or you think it's gonna kick out on us? Drop them below. We'd love to see what you guys think. Because obviously, in this moment, we have no clue.
As hard as it is to leave the warm truck shell, if we don't start cooking now, then the sun's going to go down, and then we'll be cooking in the dark and in the cold, and that sounds worse. Here we go. It's pretty, at least.
Yeah, it's gorgeous here.
Whoa, don't fall. Really makes you miss having an actual kitchen in your perfectly good trailer that's back at home. Just gonna get a pepper sauteed down a little bit. And then we picked up some chicken meatballs, so cut those up, get that cooked as well. Some spinach, and then we have some pre-cooked rice, just to save a little bit of time and make things really easy for us.
Nice.
God dang it. Did it again!
Thank you.
Yeah.
Doesn't feel too bad right now, but I know I'm about to be cold in about 5 minutes.
Overall, pretty happy with the tailgate cooking setup. I don't think there's too many things that we really can change. If only we could like pull the drawer out and have the stove maybe mounted in there so it's a more flat surface. But either way, it's a lot of one pot meals right now. Not trying to do a lot of dishes, not trying to be out here long enough to really freeze. So it's working well so far. If any of y'all have dogs and live in a snowy area, these balloon paw pads are by far the best thing that we've ever used on him. It's the only thing that actually fits his paw shape, and they never come off. He gets tons of traction, doesn't have to worry about ice and salt buildup and stuff like that in his paw pads, and they're pretty easy to put on and take off. So they're definitely worth it, and they've lasted, 2 years. The same like 4 paw pads for a few weeks of the winter every year. It's pretty impressive for just being a thick balloon, basically.
You get it?
You ready to go inside?
He's so frozen. But he is not miserable, guys. We promise. We're keeping him all in the heat, but when he wants to get out, he runs around safely with about 2 sweaters on in his booties, so.
Pretty good for almost 12.
He loves it. Or do you want to eat out here?
Oh.
We can. We have our camping chairs, but since the sun has already dropped and it is freezing outside, honestly, you could probably count the amount of times I said freezing, but anyways, we are going to eat it in the camper to stay warm because Connor's been out here cooking for at least 40 minutes and I bet his fingers are completely numb. So we're gonna enjoy this inside.
Nothing like a candlelit dinner when you can't sit up straight.
Does this look comfy at all, guys? I'm excited for dinner. Thank you for cooking.
Hindsight, one of the extended top truck shells probably would have been a great move, but we looked long enough to find this one, so didn't have any longer to wait. Otherwise, we would not be here right now. Some of y'all might think this is insane.
I mean, it kind of is. Says something when you're the only one out here. And when we told all of our friends and family we were doing this, I don't think there was one of them that said, that's a great idea.
My dad.
A lot of them questioned us.
My dad was all about it. Everybody else had probably some very understandable concerns. Well, I'd say for very simple cooking and not a ton of ingredients, that meal was just what we needed. Now we're gonna hang in here for a little bit, enjoy the heat, read, work on a video maybe, and just wait till we get tired.
What time is it? We ate dinner at like 5:35, which is really funny to me. Early bird special, but it's probably 6 now. So we seem to be going to bed at around 8:30, 9.
It's so hard in the winter. Yeah, we keep doing it, but when it gets dark at 5:30 and you have nothing to do outside because it's so cold, only thing to do is hang inside. But that's okay. We gotta be on the road by 8 tomorrow because it's an hour and a half down to Barclays Vet, and then I want to give just a little bit of time in case it's interesting getting out of here at all. So on the road at 8 and hopefully an easy trip down the mountain. As warm as the heater is, we're still putting out reflectix on the windows because the cold air from the glass makes it really chilly in here. So I'm gonna get to doing that now, and then I think it's time to go start getting ready for bed. I think I made it an hour. Oh my god, it's 6:30. For sure thought it was like 7:30.
Nope.
So maybe I'll get ready for bed in a little bit.
No, you won't.
I cannot fall asleep this early. I'll be up at 4 a.m. Just reflectix with sticky double-sided Velcro. About as simple as you can get. Now it's like we're sleeping in an aluminum spaceship. That hopefully keeps us warm. Think he's comfortable?
Yep. He's in the perfect path of the heater. I think he's content.
Well, we made it. 7:45. That means we get to start getting ready for bed. So, go brush my teeth, let Barkley out one more time, probably put some trash and stuff in the truck, and then crawl back in. I'm going to top off the diesel heater just because I don't know exactly how much it's drawing still, and I do not want to wake up in the middle of the night because it ran out. So definitely going to do that right now.
Oh my god, I cannot feel my fingers.
Good to go.
Good?
Yep. Good to go. Another day, another crazy, windy Colorado evening. Hopefully, it's a good sleep. I'm pretty sensitive to sounds, and usually spend the whole night listening to the wind, so if that's the case, not gonna be the best sleep. Hopefully we at least stay warm.
We'll see you guys in the morning. Good night.
Morning. Extremely thankful for this guy right here. Worked great. 7 a.m. Feels like -6 outside. Not quite ready to leave the camper shell.
-6? Oh no.
only spilled a little. At least we can make tea inside without having to get out. That's a big win. How's it feel?
Not too bad, actually. I know it looks really bad probably with my breath. I mean, I couldn't stand out here forever in shorts, but it's good for 10 minutes. Yeah, it's a beautiful spot. Definitely got lucky with this one, right? Holy shit. Okay, I didn't notice that last night, but that's actually a bone. It's got little hoofs. It looks like it's probably a deer bone. Yep, there's definitely mountain lions here. That's actually crazy. I am going back in the camper. I'm ready to come in.
Come on.
My legs feel that cold, which is crazy.
Very impressed with how this worked last night. I'm gonna get it turned off because it has like a 2-minute cool down, shutdown cycle. And it needs to stay powered while it's turning off because it cools the whole unit down, I guess. But I want to see how much diesel it used overnight because it ran from 8 p.m. until 8 a.m., so 12 hours. Let's see. Oh my gosh. Look at that, that's crazy. This tank's about a gallon. So, and it ran on maybe half setting. And it's got 10 settings, 1 through 10, so low to high. And it ran on about 5 all night long. Kicked down to 3 at one point and then up to 6. So call it 5 for the whole time, and it used less than half a gallon of diesel. That's pretty amazing, especially being way up here at like 9,000 feet. I turned it down to hopefully get the fuel air ratio right. So I think it used fuel a little bit slower than normal if we were at lower elevation. Either way, $200 this unit was, and it's made to be kind of outdoors setups like this. I'll have it linked in the description below. Not sponsored at all, just did a lot of research, and for the price and what it offered, I'm very happy with it. Come on, cold start, very cold start. Love this truck. It's still showing -2 out. Feels like that for sure. This spot has been absolutely stunning, and I would definitely come back here if we have more time. But we have to get Barkley to the vet, and it's gonna be a fun little drive out on this snowy road. So hopefully it all goes well. Then we'll take the chains off and head down the mountain. Don't worry, we came back and got these. Almost out, but there were some spots that snow had been drifted over, and I had no idea where the road was, and we were sliding around quite a bit, even with the chains and 4-wheel drive and a big heavy truck. That could have gotten interesting. But we made it to the gate.
It did for a second, that's for sure.
Whew. Still don't love driving in the snow. I'm gonna hop out and take these chains off and put them away. Hopefully doesn't take too long because my hands are already freezing and it's not getting any warmer. So get them stored away.
That just looked like a Mary Poppins bag. But that was really easy.
Yeah. These are like $400 for the front and the back sets combined. It seemed expensive at the time. Last year whenever we bought them, I'd have paid any amount of money to have them last night.
If you haven't seen our last snow video when we got stuck and we didn't have them, we would have paid a crazy amount of money for them just to get out. So to have them this trip and not have to worry about it as much was a really good peace of mind. For peace of mind, you'll pay anything. That's very true. He wanted to capture this.
Yeah. Thanks for all your help.
Anytime.